Excuse me, guys. Actually, you know what? I meant to test my audio. So let me do that. Yep. Okay, good. I'm there. Hey, what is up, everybody? It's Barry Gaines of GainesCon Film Festival in Las Vegas, as well as GainesCon Entertainment in Las Vegas as well. So today I came on, I just came from the movie theater and I saw The Long Walk. We'll get right to it. But before I do, I just want to go ahead and promote GainesCon Film Festival in Las Vegas this December 4th and 5th. So if you're in town, we'd love to see you. This here we're going to, just to remind you who we are, we're a nonprofit organization designed to showcase, educate, and produce aspiring filmmakers whose genre is the action, sci-fi, fantasy, and horror world. Also, we're here to help with resources and education for free, because we are a nonprofit for everybody who wants to be in the entertainment industry. We provide this service with industry professionals who do not donate their time in respected positions. So it could be anyone from a stunt performer, music composer, director, producer, screenwriter. It can be people who are doctors who have to maintain and help the cast and crew during any production. So we're going to have all types. Especially, we're going to really deep dive into positions that you don't normally hear. Like I just mentioned, you have nurses, you have psychologists, you even have you have firefighters, you have police officers, of course, on there. To help direct. You have people who are the armorers, who deal with the weapons. So all those people right there, I'm going to have people coming up starting next year. I'm trying to do it before the event now, but I'm always looking for those who want to donate their time to help the next generation move forward into entertainment business in the field that they want to get into, because that's what we're all about. GainesCon is here to help assist independent filmmakers and those who want to be in the industry. We're all going to learn. Hell, I'm going to learn too. I don't know everything, but we're going to have industry professionals to teach us all these positions. And these things the industry professionals, to repeat myself, are going to be in a lot of these sectors that you don't normally hear. So that's what we're looking for. So if you're interested in donating your time, you're interested in just helping us provide this new space here in Las Vegas and everywhere else, because we want to expand, of course. But right now we're in Las Vegas. Las Vegas has a lot of talent here, and we want to start off our journey here in Vegas. So if you're here, we'll love to see you. We'll love to have you on board to build a new space, to build a new community of the action, sci-fi, fantasy, and horror indie world. You know what I mean? And like I said, it's not just showcasing great work is what we do, but also educating the next generation and anybody who wants to go further in the industry and be more educated on their way in. And that is what we're all about. So we'll love to hear from you. Now, as I was mentioning in the beginning, I saw The Long Walk and today, and let me just now, if you don't know what The Long Walk is, let me throw something up here for you. All right, that's The Long Walk. All right, so let me see if I could do this right. Hold on. I'm playing around here. All right, so cool. Anyway, so yeah, The Long Walk. So I went to see The Long Walk today, and let you know, I've been doing this reviewing of movies, which I don't normally do, and I did 2 of them in the past, and I really like it. It's something I always wanted to do, so I'm trying to get into it. So just kind of work with me, because I'm kind of new to just reviewing movies online. You have pros out there who've been doing it for umpteen years. I'm the new guy. I'm getting into this, but you know what? I have a lot to say, because I've been making movies, writing screenplays, dealing with productions for many, many years. And when I see a really good film, I love speaking to everyone about it. After I see a film, I speak to my wife, I speak to my friends, I speak to people at work, associates, business associates. We talk about movies all the time. And they say, why don't you just talk about it too online, And I'm like, yeah, you're right, doing it for so long. So I said, yeah, I want to share it. So this is just my opinion, okay, on The Long Walk. Anyway, this is to let you know what The Long Walk is all about. It stars, let me get these names right. It stars Cooper Huffman, David Johnson. If you saw Alien Romulus, he was the Shine. He was the you can say the robot in the movie. And he was like this. I mean, he just stood out. That guy is the next big star. Let me tell you right now, David Johnson. Just remember that name, David Johnson. I'm predicting now that he's going to be like the next Denzel, for real, for real. He's like the next star. You see others coming out, of course, you know, all the new guys coming and everything else, but they haven't spoke about this guy enough. And I really think this is the movie that's going to catapult him to the next level. I can see him right now being in his own film, being the lead all through and through. And this Long Walk, he's pretty much the lead, but he's like co-starring with everyone else because it's an ensemble cast. And great cast. Garrett Waring, Tu Nort, I think I'm quite sure I'm saying his name wrong. He was excellent. Ben Wang, Charlie Plummer. There were so many people in here. Let me tell you this. Before I get into like what it's all about and everything else, I just want to say that the cast, you know, was excellent. The people who, the casting agents, the people who sat there and selected each and every one of these gentlemen to do these characters were outstanding. There was not a weak one in any of this. And of course, on top of this, we had Mark Hamill playing the general, the major, who was like the worst person in the world. Like he was the asshole, you know, he was the worst. So yeah, he played the baddie, you know. But the ensemble cast was actually amazing in this movie. And if you're not sure about this, what this is all about, it's a really simple premise. This takes place like post-apocalyptic. It's like a civil war happened, and you know, people are barely have anything to live on, and they made this, and so of course morale is down to the whole country. So they make up this contest to kind of boost morale, to show that people can go for the long haul, show strength. You know, it's kind of like supposed to be a morale booster for the country. So they made this contest called The Long Walk. And the premise pretty much is this. You just keep walking. There's no finish line. It's that whoever lasts at the end. But you have to keep at a certain pace. And if you don't, you get shot. You pretty much get killed. So it's one and done. So either you make it all the way and everyone else behind you dies, or you die on the way. So I'm looking at this film, I'm sitting there, and you know what the premise is. And you sit down and you watching everything kind of like start. And what I love about the movie, that it just starts, it gets right to it. And I love that. And it's such a simple premise, but the drama just builds, because you know, all right, you're walking, but how long you have to walk, and then who's going to be the one that knows that they're going to die? Like how does that work? You know, because you know someone is going to lag, and you know, so that tension builds pretty quickly as you watch the movie. And if you're queasy, probably not the movie for you, but the movie is graphic. But everything is not graphic in a way where they just kind of threw it in there just because it looked, you know, because it'd be a cool graphic. No, everything makes sense. Everything has its purpose, and you can see how realistic. Well, I should say, if this really was to happen, they kind of, you know, made that where if this happened, these are things that's going to happen to you. Everybody's body is different. Everybody's stamina is different. Everybody's psyche and point of view on everything is different, and that's going to cause a conflict, and that is going to cause a lot of things happening on this long walk, in which it does. So it's a movie where I say this before I go into any further. Yeah, go see it. Definitely go see it in the theater. I saw it in the theater with some great sound. And I tell you what, when those gunshots go off, man, I was like jumping. And I rarely jump. I see a movie, I'm into it. You know, I'm a filmmaker, I'm into it. I can see things. And, you know, you just want to get into it. You just kind of forget. And you just want to kind of get involved into it, you know? So, but when you do, I mean, those gunshots and things happening, the sound design was absolutely brilliant. Because when things happen, you felt like they felt. You know, you hear that gunshot, bang, you know, you feel like you jump. And I'm like, oh my God, you know? So when you start hearing it and seeing it, that's when the tension rolls. And you have Cooper Hoffman and David Johnson become like buddies on the way to, just on this road, and that's it, man. You just look at a movie knowing that things are going to happen. And that's what attention. And number one, I just want to say this: it's a great movie. As you see on the poster, this was written by Stephen King, but this is Stephen King back in 1967 when he was under a pseudo name. I forget the name actually. Bad about that. My bad. But if you look it up, he had another name when he first started. It wasn't Stephen King. It was another name. Well, this is like I think his first book, in 1967, and so this story's been around for a long time. And the director is, let me get the director's name correctly here, Francis Lawrence, who also did, let's see, I know he did The Hunger Games. He's that guy. And he did quite a few other films, by the way. The Hunger Games he did Constantine, which I'm a fan of. So once I saw his name and he did Constantine, I didn't really watch The Hunger Games. It really wasn't my thing, to tell you the truth. I know it was a good movie. I saw the first one. It was entertaining. And, it kind of went on. But when I saw Constantine, he did that. I was like, okay, I'm in. All right, you got me. I want to see this. And on top of that, the trailer itself brings you in, and this is what I'm talking about. The long walk. Let me get into this. Just being this is like in a filmmaker's mind, like all you filmmakers out there, screenplay writers, we know something good when we see it, right? You see something good, something's well done. But this, the way this was directed can easily have been a drag, like easily. And you have the right people to say, okay, hold up. The tension is already there. So we don't even have to worry about trying to build on that. It's going to build on its own. It's doing its own thing. We just have to guide it appropriately. But what we need to do is make sure we have characters that every time they speak, it's about something. It's a purpose. It means something. They're just not flailing off about anything, about people just watching, just walking and talking, because pretty much most of the movie is just them walking. It's just walking and talking. And, of course, people dropping back and getting shot. Those three elements is pretty much it. And there's other ebbs and flows. There's other storylines within each of the characters to give them all their own, face. And you're going to have, your characters, of course, in a movie like this, you're going to have your assholes. You're going to have your jocks. You're going to have the funny man. You're going to have the one that whines a lot. You're going to have someone who looks at perspective a little differently and makes sense. You're going to have like a leader and then a co-leader. You have all those elements, and all those elements could have been a mess. But you know what? The way they structured this, the way they wrote this, and number one is Stephen King. So you don't have to do much when you wrote the screenplay. You just have to make sure that you're guiding it right. You're cutting where it needs to be cut appropriately, but everything is pretty much there. And the character development was great. The direction was awesome. And the director knew when to cut things off. He knew when to stop, when to start. And that is always the hardest thing. And I know that you could tell most movies, let me say this. Most movies, right? You can always see like, okay, there must be more to it, right? There's an edit, because most movies are always longer than you actually see. You know what I mean? They film a lot. It's the way it works. They always film a lot more than you see. And a lot of times you can always see like a cut, or you can see a moment where you feel like, oh, you know what? That was probably a moment where they cut, or why didn't they establish that a little more? This movie for me, I didn't even see that. I mean, and you didn't feel like there was something missing or there could be more of. Like when you finish, though the ending was a little questionable, but that's very minor. But it could have had a little better ending, but either or, it's still a fantastic, fantastic movie. And what I was saying was, like I said, this movie could have been a mess, and it was not. The way they balanced everybody was fantastic. So I just have to say that I'm really happy to go to a theater, sit down, and then when I leave, I feel like, wow, I really saw something. Wow, this is really worth the movie, and it makes you think. There's some things that are not too far from today. You're like, wow, that's really close. That's really close to home. You know what I'm saying? Some of those things, that's my kind of close to home. But it makes you think, and that's why I think you guys should go ahead, check out The Long Walk, and let you know. Listen, I'm not sponsored by anybody with these reviews. This is just me being a movie lover because I love film. And I just love watching movies. And today I went by myself. After work, I did some work. I got some things out the way, and then I said, you know what, I have some time to kill, and I went to the movies by myself, and sat there, got my popcorn, and enjoyed it. So you know what, every now and then, guys, you should do that too. If you don't do it already, you should do it. It's very rewarding. It's stimulating, because you know what, it's just you can do what you want, buy what you want, say what you want, say what you want. And that freedom is just kind of, and on top of that, doing on a day where really no one's in the theater, it's like having your own theater there. If you don't do it, you should try it once. Trust me, it's addictive. You'll love it. Just go to a theater, go to a movie you want to see, relax, and while you're doing that, you're supporting the theater. You're supporting the theater experience. We're kind of under fire right now for the past like 10 to 15 years, maybe a little more. And now, with everything going on with streaming, theaters are on the threat. So they're always trying to juggle some more concession, some more things where to attract people in. But I tell you what, I don't think theaters not going anywhere anytime soon. It may get less every now and then, depending what the movie is, with like people coming in, but all in all, theaters not going anywhere. I can tell you that right now. It's just the experience of sitting there, smelling the popcorn, seeing the big theater, sitting down these big seats. Everyone is focused on the same big dark screen. It's nothing like it. So anyway, I'm a big fan. I know I'm just yapping about the movie experience, but I am a movie fan. I am a filmmaker, and this is what I love. And I just want people to just go out there and just support it as much as you can, and understand it's nothing like being in the theater. It cannot be replicated at home. No matter what, I don't care how big it is, how nice your theater room is. It's nothing like going to a theater itself, paying, going down the hall, opening up the door, sitting down in a seat that you paid for, in a big screen with a whole bunch of other people just sitting there concentrating on the same screen, and everyone witnessing the experience with you. There's nothing like it anyway. So I'm a theater guy. But anyway, go see this film. And before I jump off, I definitely have to mention, give me a sec here. Of course, my thing. All right. So I'm going to go back to here. GainesCon, this December 4th and 5th. Hey, listen, I've been doing this GainesCon for a little while, not too long, maybe a few years. This is my second one, being a nonprofit organization. And that's what people understand what this is really all about. A lot of you guys and a lot of us, I have, of course, been to many film festivals. And if you haven't been to a film festival, one thing about a film festival a lot of times is that it's a great experience. It really is, for the most part. Not all the time, don't get me wrong. And if you don't got skin in the game, a lot of times it can get a little, kind of boring to you. Or, if you're not in the film, you're just kind of there, supporting your boy, supporting your girl. And there's some things that if you're not into movies and you're just there chilling, there's not much to do unless you have something, or you're there to see somebody, or you're kind of mingling with some people and just trying to move it around. It could be a little, not the best experience. And the difference that with mine that I'm building right now, in the beginning stages, is that there's always going to be something there for anybody to get something from. Number one, my film festival is for shorts. My film festival deals with the action, sci-fi, fantasy, and horror genres. So everything is always fun. Everything is always exciting. You know why I love this? I always loved it since I was a kid. Because think of it this way. When you were young, right? What movie, if anything, you remember that was exciting for you? It was an action film. It was a horror film. It was a sci-fi film. More than likely, if you're young, it's going to be like an action or a sci-fi film. You know what I mean? But I'm a Gen X, so our parents didn't really care what we watched. You know what I'm saying? So we watched stuff we shouldn't have been watching at the age of like 8. You know what I mean? So we watched a whole bunch of things, but those experiences is what made me who I am today. Made me appreciate all of the work that goes into those films. And that's why this film festival is dedicated to the action, sci-fi, fantasy, and horror genre filmmakers. And everything that goes in it is so much that goes in it. The sectors are just countless. Sometimes you feel it's countless because there's so many people involved. There's so many things that have to be made up in order for everyone to be safe, for the story to be told appropriately, and also to save money, and to and just to kind of trying to tell a story a fictional story, a lot of times in a place that doesn't exist, and convince you that it does, and convince you for those 2 hours or so that this place exists, those characters exist, and you can relate to a place that doesn't exist. That is the trick to what we do. And that's the trick that all the sci-fi, action, and horror movie, filmmakers out there and writers do. And everything that goes along with it is a lot to it. And we just want to be a place where you say, you know what? I make movies like this. I write screenplays like this. I like to do music this way. If you're a stunt woman, stunt man, I love to be in a movie that has more to do. So I love action films. GainesCon is here to help you showcase your work. And with this, with my film festival, all the films are shorts. So it's not that you have to commit a long time for one story. And the reason is for this because I really want to showcase as much as I can within the time I have. And the way to do that is there are a lot of people who just don't have the money. A lot of us don't. We're artists, man. We don't have any money, but we have enough to show what we have. And a lot of times it's going to be a short. Now, of course, you're always going to hear this thing in the industry where, of course, full-length films is what makes the money. Yes, we all know that. Yeah. We all know that for years. But in part, a short film can really have a major, major influence on someone who may want to expand on that have the power to expand on your idea. So make your short. Don't worry about it. Make your art. Anytime you can finish anything when it comes to being an artist, it's an accomplishment. I don't care what it is. And I wish that I can actually showcase everybody that submits their film. I really wish I can. I really wish. But unfortunately, I can't. I really want to maintain a standard, which is pretty much just complete the movie. And if it's good enough, if it's good where you can actually follow it, then, you're in. It's not about like me trying to have a high bar, low bar. It's not about that. It's just a matter of like, is it complete? Does it tell a story? Whatever the story is, does it complete the story? And you're in. I do my best. I can, like I said before, just to be honest, I can't accept everybody, but I wish I can. Trust me, I wish I can. But I do accept as much as I can. So trust me, it's hard for me to say no, unless you know. And I look at every film at least twice. So I know the films. I know the screenplays that come in. I know the action shorts that come in. I do that purposely because I'm a filmmaker myself, and I know how important it is for people to understand your work and to care about your work. I've been to so many other film festivals where you're there and your work is just something on the side and they're showcasing somebody else or some star or somebody that has nothing to do, that's not there to showcase their work really, or they're doing something, they're a professional that already did their work. They're there to kind of like, of course, come and support, but then a lot of time is always dealing with them and not dealing with the artist that actually is providing the service, providing the money, providing the capital for you to even have this film festival. And that is why for my film festival, you are the star, the submitters, the artists, you are the stars, not the big special guests. I'm going to tell you guys just the way it is, just to be honest. My special guests are there because they want to be there and they want to help. And they're very, very important to this. Don't get it twisted. But on top of that, they won't be able to do their work or even be part of anything they do because they're artists themselves without, filmmakers and people who want to make films with them. We're all a big family trying to go in the same spot, go in the same place. We all want to grow in the industry. We all want to tell a story. We all are here because we're entertainers and we love what we do because we're built this way. This year, we have Michael Vignola, who is an award-winning composer. And he's going to be telling us and showcasing us and giving us some pointers of what, if you are a musician, and you're interested in making a score, you're interested in being in the business just to make music because you love music, he can tell you a good path to go by and what to do and how to work with a director, how to build a music for a scene. He'll give you his experiences, and tell you the best course of action to go about being a composer in film. Then, of course, I have Rusty Bottomoff, and he is a Hollywood stunt performer who is one of the most sought after stunt performers in Hollywood, and he's going to show you what it means to be a Hollywood stunt man, and also if you want to get into it, what's the best course of action? Like, how do you do it? See, there's so many things that people want to be in part, that want to be a part of in entertainment industry. And there are the common jobs that you hear all the time. And sometimes people just don't fit those. I mean, they, sometimes say, well, I don't want to be a director. I don't know, producer's too much work. I'm not really a screenwriter, but I really, really want to just be involved and create. I want to be like maybe a consultant of something, maybe you're a police officer, just want to be involved. Well, you're going to be a consultant. You can do that. There are agencies that supply access to work in the entertainment industry for first responders, because we need them there, not only to be a consultant, but to also work on these sets for safety. So there are a lot of avenues. There's other avenues, people who just want to be involved. So this is why I bring in who I bring in, because I want people to understand this is a big industry, as you know, but there's so many other sectors that need to be to have some light shined on them. And that's is what we're working on. And with your help and your donations and your participation, we can make this space bigger. This is going to be a very different space that I'm building right now with everyone that's involved. And I love everyone that's going to be involved in this, everyone that has been involved in this. And that's why it's very special to me, and everyone involved is very special as well. And to continue on, who's going to be here this year. Also, we're going to have a special presentation of Mafia Wars, directed by Scott Windhauser, that's starring Tom Welling. Yes, Superman himself from Smallville. Yes, so we're going to have a special presentation of his film. Also, we're going to have Affliction. So we're going to have some hip hop and R&B performances there. On the second day, I gotta have it, because listen, I'm hip hop headed. You know what I mean? I'm a Gen X. I was a DJ. I worked for Virgin Records. I was in publicity. I was in black music. So in this film festival is not gonna be like any other film festival. We're gonna have the R&B, we're gonna hip hop, we're gonna have some bumping sounds in that bitch for at least for a little while, just to kind of break it up. And we have a great crew right now, a great group called Affliction. Dave and Sarah, they're a husband and wife group, and they're killing it. So can't wait, and I'd love for you there to experience it. And also too, if we're going to have also my man Don Terrell, who is a YouTube LinkedIn influencer. You always hear YouTube influencer, right? But he's a LinkedIn influencer. He's been around for a long time. He's going to be interviewing everybody. Everybody. Not just the submitters and then the artists. Hey, you're there with your boys. You're there with your homegirl. Come down. He'll interview you. If he has time, he'll interview you too. So he's going to be there live, showcasing everyone for 2 days. On YouTube and on LinkedIn and on Facebook. So yeah, get your face out there. Come on, get your face out there. Let's do it. So that's what's going to be out there this year. Now, the plus that's going to happen on here, that's not on this poster yet, but it will be in the new ones. So I have to get this up and going, is that I'm also going to showcase my work as well. Now, I'm always saying I'm a filmmaker, which I am. And I'm always saying, hey, listen, I would like to, these are my, like in my experiences, I like to kind of give you some advice, right? But no one has really seen my stuff. Now, you can see my work on Tubi and Apple TV and Amazon on The World of Worlds, which is my two-part series, full-length feature. And that came out, it came out like 2 years ago or something like that. So what I'm going to do is showcase my work. Now, it's not about me, but you know what? I really do want to showcase my work just one time, because everyone involved with me at that time put in so much time, so much work. And it took us almost 5 years to complete two. 5 years to complete two. And that's why I understand, man, how hard it is to, complete anything. And that's why it's a big deal that you complete anything. I'm talking about anything. You complete it, then you're big with me. You know what I'm saying? You're big time with me, because most people don't. They'll talk a lot. They'll start it, never finish. But if you complete it from A to Z, kudos to you, for real. So, but anyway, I'm going to showcase my work there too. My two films, my two full-length films. So you're going to have like 3 full-length films this year, and a bunch of great showcase short films from all around the world. I cannot wait for you guys to see these people's work. It's amazing. And then at the end of the day, cannot forget that we're going to have the Dragon Awards, and I'm going to announce the winners of all the Dragon Awards. We're going to have the Dragon Certificate, and of course the Dragon Trophy, and just mention all of the winners at the end of the day on the second day. Anyway, listen, go ahead. Oh, and also too, hey, Do you have an action short that you were involved in or you directed or anything like that that's under 40 minutes? It's still open. You know what I mean? We still have space in Film Freeway. So go ahead and submit your film. We still got space. So if you do have a short film that's under 40 minutes, that's action-packed, sci-fi packed, horror packed, fantasy packed, or whatever it is, you know what I mean? It's exciting thriller, anything like that. Go ahead and go to Film Freeway and enter your work today. I'd love to review it and love to showcase it. So we'd love to see that. All right. So again, GainesCon coming this December 4th and 5th. For more information, just hit me up, everybody. And again, at the beginning of this, I reviewed A Long Walk. Go see it. Incredible movie. All right. Everyone out there, be safe. Love each other. And just be safe out there, everybody. And I love you. We all love you. And let's make this world a better place as much as we can each and every day. And let's just keep moving forward. All right. And keep the action going. All right, everyone. Peace.